Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated, a very man about town is going to give us the little insides of a Terry Michler celebration, player celebration that is upcoming in July. And I reached out to a guy, and we went back and forth, and anybody who's listened to this podcast know I can't pronounce anything. And he was Tom, you've been telling people your name your whole life. Can you tell us your name correctly?
Yes, sir. Tom Hammelman.
Now, most people wouldn't think that that's difficult.
All the Hammelmans had to learn to spell when they were 3 or 4 years old because we were forever spelling our name. They thought we were British and we were actually German. It wasn't Hamilton, it was Hammelman.
Beautiful, baby. Cheers to you and yours. Now, you graduated in 1964, correct?
That's correct.
Are there a whole slew full of Heidemans around town that graduated before or after you?
No. The only Hammelman that went to CBC. By the time my kids were born and high school ready, we lived in outer towns. So I was out of town for 30 years.
Oh.
Corporate jobs and what have you. Otherwise, my kids would have gone to CBC.
Yeah. And you got a slew full of cousins?
I do have, we're a relatively small family, and never were a big family. I know family history pretty well. And none of them, most of them moved to the north suburbs when the north suburbs were in place, and transportation was a big deal. That was a preventative to get to the Clayton Road.
Right. Well, here you go. Is that from the sacking, there was a period of time went, and then your name came up, and it was like, hey, we're going to get it done. And since I've had maybe 5 conversations with you, all brief, by the way, that you set me straight on a bunch of stuff, and I really, first impressions mean a lot. So you really done good for yourself, according to Whale Certified. And that's how you are Whale Certified, Tom.
Oh, good. That's a good badge. That's a good badge.
Yes, right. Okay. So there you go. You got it. And then you're looking at me. And I'm saying, Tom, how did it happen? You never really thought about it. You just did it. And can you enlighten us about your journey thus far to where you heard about the sacking and what you thought of and did by... Go.
Surely, be happy to, very, very much so. Well, the first reaction was disbelief, because even though I was gone, I've never been to Christmas in St. Louis. My best friends are live here and I went to school with them, and that school was CBC, so I kept up with things, if you will, and on very many trips back home to see mom and dad and family. So when it happened, I was aware of the soccer record and Terry Michler. I I played soccer with Terry at CBC. He was a year behind me. So it was a totally familiar name. And I knew a little bit about the cut of his bib. Okay? And it didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense. Well, because I knew from time past, and I knew also of the record, um, uh, some of my friends were really avid and rabid fans. So I know about the one loss record and everything. And so on my end, I the last job I had 1,000 people working for me. I had 700 managers, coaches, if you will, and 930 staff. I was in the financial services business. Uh, Financial services turned out to be like changing tires on cars going 100 miles an hour. It was very fast, and there were issues, always personnel issues. And you just had to slow it down, and you had to say, wait a minute. So this person has this problem. Okay, what are we doing to treat that fairly? You know, have we given them a hearing? Are we really listening when we give them a hearing? And so the process of changing staff was it was almost a thing for me. I had a rule: nobody gets fired unless they talk to me. And of course, at that point in my career, I say this with all modesty, I was the big dog. But that was the rule. I wanted to make sure that was done with due concern about people involved. But then you go over to Terry's situation, and we have a couple of things that seemed to me that were at work. First, you had a unbelievable soccer dynasty, CBC. You had Coach Horgan, who Terry and I played for, lovingly known as in my book as RC, Robert C. Horgan, and he put up 500 wins, and then continuing the dynasty, blowing the tires off the car was Terry with another 1,000+ wins. So you got 1,500 wins in, what was it? Let's see here. In 66 years between the two of them, 22 wins a year on average. Then the other thing you had with Terry, as I asked around about it, Terry didn't recruit players. He didn't go out and pick. Terry had to build his teams from who showed up school the first day. So it was all hand built. And to have a record that's truly amazing. And then other things at play in my mind. Now I come from old CBC, and the motto we had then, which is still the motto today, by the way, is religio mores cultura. So we could leave religion out of this for a moment and just look at those last two things. And the culture at CBC was always try to be better. Always try to be better tomorrow, the next week, the next. And I think that's as I see it. But I think that we played into both academic performance, but especially sports performance. Okay? And then the culture, and more as, you do the right thing. You do the fair thing. And I couldn't really see how this lived up to standard. And of course, we have the slogan, men for tomorrow and brothers for life. Well, it seems to me like we let Terry. So I thought after all of that, there must be some skullduggery is nothing adding up. And I still don't know what it is. But I thought, well, no, we can't just let it go. Like, we just cannot do it. And so, thinking about all of that, I thought, well, okay, I'll lead the party. However we got to do it, we'll get it done and give Terry the due honor for all his years of success and his contribution to what is CBC. And I don't see how we cannot do it. So here I am. I got a whole new job at 78.
And so, under full disclosure, you have a wrist that will keep you from holding a phone up to your mouth, right? But is there? It seems like you're cutting up a little bit. Are you got that audio right inside where you can? Yeah.
Is this any better?
Yes, it's a whole lot better.
Okay. All right. I'll just hold it up with the other hand on speaker.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where the 21st century, they have these stands and so forth, and like the whale's got something like a little notebook stacked up on high, so I get it up higher than off the ground.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell it, to the big dog, and this the little dog telling the big dog, hey, you want to do. Okay. So that's the thing, is that to try to be entertaining and informative, it would be to a liking of you come in to a company, people ask you, come on, man, you got to save this place, or you got to rearrange the furniture. This ain't a Titanic. And you, that's your mission. You have to do that. And people know success. They hear about it. So you must have been successful. And the thing is, like you said, what's that smell? Well, probably the first thing I would think is look in the kitchen, look in the icebox to see if there's some old cheese left in there. And then if the dog went into the closet, or for God's sakes, throw the socks out if you're not going to wash them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So it's and the patron saint of teachers is our friend Saint John the Baptist de La Salle.
Yes, sir.
And there's a difference between the guy named Judas and the guy named Jude. Saint Jude is, yeah. And so these things are just just overlook it. No, there's really no mea culpa. There's no, hey, all right, forget about it. You did it. You're there. But you were a mature male. You were a CBC brother. You said, hey, man, let's move forward. And the best way you knew is about the people. You're a people person, I believe, Tom. And that you...
Very much so.
Yeah, and so was... And this is not even knowing you. And that's what Terry is. He's a player's coach. And so it's about not, hey, Terry, you pat me on the back. It's like, hey, the players who contributed it to all those wins. Terry always says that the players won all those games. He might have lost a few.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah,
that's a statement is true in life. I did turnarounds. I was always hired to fix a big problem, and everybody who hired me had all the cliches about, well, our people are too old, or they're not smart enough, or all that. And the real answer was they weren't led well enough. And so new people contributed new ideas. The people that had been in these operations and companies for a while, they weren't dead. They had great brains. They knew how to guide and steer. All you had to do was listen to them, and they'd do it.
Wow.
Famous Terry running a coaching a successful soccer team. That is no easy job.
Yeah. And the operation comes out as, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but Napoleon said, hey, there's no bad soldiers. There's just bad officers. And
yeah, that's the way to look at it. Yes.
Yeah. And that administration over there, they can throw themselves off to whatever they want to do, point fingers at it, but that whole deal, it stinks over there. And the whole operation is that come through all that, you got everybody together, send the invites out, set a date, enough time for Terry to get his, to write down the PowerPoint to presentation of all the victories. He knows them. He knows them all.
Right. He does. Yes.
Yeah. And to be able to say, hey, we're only going to have it over there at that Michael Ross Hall because that it holds a lot of people, and there's going to be a lot of people in this thing. Right? Yeah. But
you think? Go on.
But that's as far as those three letters are involved in this thing. Keep the people that shouldn't be there away. And we don't need your food. We don't need your toilet paper. We don't need your drinks. We'll supply it. Yeah.
Well, there is a difficulty here when you're trying to say, well, what happened? And I think it would be an error to say that CBC as the entity that it has been for hundreds of years, was kind of the thing. It's what we said earlier, is that some of the people, I don't know who, but some of the people just didn't live up to the legacy of CBC. In essence, they made a giant mistake because they didn't stop and think it through, in my view. And that would be worrisome because it makes you wonder, are they making more mistakes? Because this is an obvious thing. Should not have happened. They should have had a conversation with Terry, said, what about the future? What are you thinking? Here's what we're thinking, and come to a happy agreement, and then everything could be handled with skill and savoir-faire. And it wasn't.
Yeah. And you don't get a do-over.
No, once you break the faith, nope, too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard. Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna, and hopefully I'll have my little handheld recorder, and I'll be there, well certified to be there. Yeah, but this is something.
Great.
What? You say great or wait?
No, great.
Oh,
great.
Okay.
Great that you're going to be there. Yeah, great that you're going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And everybody should come. Everybody who's listening, you should come.
Amen, bro. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And the story goes is that if something would happen to me and I couldn't make it, I'm going to Zoom it, baby. I need somebody to Zoom me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever it is, it's the place. There's no, and the whole story is for some reason we couldn't get the Kiel Center, and we couldn't get the Fox Theater or something, So we had to go back to CBC. I don't know how true it is, but they mostly kind of begged to have it there, and I don't know. So anyway, my lack of vocabulary.
Well, they didn't. No, they didn't actually. They didn't actually beg. I would read. I would read. Phil, as the president, has been grateful that this I hate to say party, this recognition of Terry was unfolding, and some of the people were thinking it would be too hard to meet the current schedule of the room and then add in another big party. But Phil said, let's get this done. And so they were open the door to me, and so we're moving forward. So that was good. That was good.
Well, can I call you Brother H? Yeah, okay, but
yeah, I don't know. That might be stretching things.
Yeah, because I could imagine you in your positions throughout the decades that people say, "Mr. H, we got this, we got that," and you it would just have been. Well, the Harvard business model would go and say, Tom, teach us how to do this thing, will you please? And so my hat's off to you. And how do you feel you've been coming along? You started this maybe 3 weeks ago?
Well, actually, the event itself happened on March 7th. And I started working on this by the end of March, at least. We had a lot of difficulty with getting a room. We started with CBC, and we said I said it's on us. The people that come will pay for the party, and we just need a place to have it. And I was surprised to learn how much activity goes on at the school during the summer. I kind of thought it was like when I went to school. Nothing's going on in the summer, right? Oh no. The room is booked with all kinds of activities, terrific activities. But when you have a crowd that could be as big as the soccer fraternity from CBC, the logistics of moving tables and chairs and how do we get who's going to get the ice and all that kind of stuff. It really is. It is kind of like a cannonball rolling through the place. Just stop for one day and then put it all back. Have the party and then put it all back. So at one point it looked like it just could not be done, and luckily. That got to be a little bit frightening because if we had to get a place like out in the public, that would be serious money, to book a place. And luckily, Incarnate Word said Terry had a connection there. They said you can use ours, and so that was the direction we were going in. And then CBC. Pulled the levers and stepped on the gas and figured out how it could happen. So we do have a date at CBC, and that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah. And under full disclosure, Tom, can you still fit in your leather sweater?
I can.
Magnificent.
I moved 5 times corporately, and there was just the last time we moved, I had 13 tons of refrigerators and couches and chairs and so on. So I have all this stuff, but I always knew where my Geisler Jargon CBC jacket was, and where my varsity letter and my district championship badge was. Always had. I can tell you, I always knew where they were. So, yeah, it was. Yes, I do have the coat, the varsity jacket, and the insignia.
Right. Like I, threw out a lot of CBC stuff, but I kept the stuff that means endearment to me. That we accomplished. And so those players, my teammates, the people the fellows I coached, we're together. We'll always be together. And yeah, and so that was the same way. Is that that I maybe my girlfriends will say it's okay. I'm not going to be wearing purple and gold anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, is there anything I might have said that you wanted me to say, or you want to revise and extend my remarks to do it professionally?
Well, not so much of anything that I would. Everything you said is just fine. I will tell you, as going through this, it really is stunning to think of what a soccer dynasty CBC is on a national scale. You can't find another school that has been more involved, put more people. Rich Nelke played with the '64 team.
Yeah.
Well, just as one example, just one. So he was on the NC2A national champion Michigan State University team.
Yes, he was.
We had a truly, not only excellent, I don't even know how to describe it. You can't replicate it. There isn't going to be another school that's, it took us 66 years to amount to 1,500 wins. So I don't know, where does that put us? Somewhere out there close to the end of the century? Ain't going to happen. Because why?
Why?
Because Terry, he kind of grabbed the steering wheel of soccer in the United States. He's not just a CBC guy. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And soccer is now bigger than all get out, and the hunt for talent is, in talking to him, the hunt for talent is, is just unbelievable. Club teams, academy teams, all of that sort of thing. So it would be very hard for somebody to get players, build the players, build a team, compete that team as Terry has done. Again, I think this is it. It is never going to get bigger than this. Unless, of course, it's CBC that adds to it.
Yeah. So do you have the date in your mind, or do you have to look for some papers to tell you?
The date of the party is July 16th.
Is it a 6:30 cheers?
Yes, and we had the federal government print the tickets. You bring a $20 bill with you. That's your ticket.
Now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bust in my first communion money, and I'm going to lay it out there, baby.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. All right.
Not too much to ask.
No. So, Tom, it's just been a thrill, man, talking to you. I've always liked you from just your name mention around, and then all the good things that you said and so forth. So it goes here at Wales Certified is that there's a custom to say, hey, Tom, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for, this is your time.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Do they have to be alive right now?
It's yours, baby. No.
Okay. So, first of all, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been really great to meet Terry again. Not on the field like we did way back when, but as a person here, and talking with him in his room with everybody who comes and goes, and that has been really great. And the other thing I would say to R.C. Harden, you should have played me more.
And it goes without question. Everyone during that time, all to an agreement to a person about that.
The whole time. Yeah. Yeah, that's a funny thing. Because I played with in the men's league in Prime Sunday Morning Athletic Club. So I was 25 or 26 until I finally moved out of the city. And to what we just said, Coach, put me in.
Oh, well, I tell you, Rich Nelke, that's I was able to meet up with him and talk to him over the years, and what a joy, what a class act he is.
Yes, he's a good man. Good man. Yep.
And the Crown Sunday Morning Club, there'll never be another one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't live too far from it. From the yeah, over in the Holly Hills area. So
okay, sure.
Yeah. So you're the guy, and I mean to tell you, you are well certified superior general. What was your rank when you graduated?
I was a staff sergeant, I believe is right.
Well, the well certified is elevated you to cadet colonel.
Oh, way to go! Way to go!
Baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's great. I'll take it.
Yes, yes. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, and for really, thank you, Tom, for doing this, getting this together for us guys. Okay.
Happy to do it. Look forward to seeing you on July 16th at the school.
All right.
Okay.
And if you don't think you should be there, don't show up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Bring your ticket. Bring your ticket.
All right, baby. Yeah. Oh, right then. So,
okay.
Thank you, Tom. And you have been whale certified. This has been whale certified, and others can become whale certified if they try. Bye-bye, Tom.
Bye-bye, Kevin. Thank you very much.